Reality TV, as we all know, can be a piece of work sometimes. From Pawn Stars and Jersey Shore or Undercover Boss to today's topic, reality TV has become very ingrained in pop culture. But it's not necessarily the premise of the shows that make it stick in the public's head, but rather the characters within them. Chum-Li from Pawn Stars, Snooki from Jersey Shore. These are iconic characters that you can associate within the show. And I use the word characters very intentionally because, as we all know, a good portion of reality TV isn't reality. But there's one man who made a name for himself by being the biggest ball of depreciation and arrogance that I've seen in a while. He's sort of the US's answer to Gordon Ramsay, but in a way that's so much more American. I'm talking, of course, about Jon Taffer from Bar Rescue. This man is a wild boar who stumbled upon a wishing well and made a wish to be turned into a human. He walks in a room with the presence and arrogance of somebody who thinks he's better and smarter than everybody else in that place. And his show, Bar Rescue, gives us a sneak peek into how he acts. Essentially, Bar Rescue is a version of Kitchen Nightmares, but instead of just kitchens and restaurants, Jon exclusively goes to bars and taverns to see what's going on behind the scenes and try and help them bring in more business. Bar Rescue is one of those shows where the line between them exaggerating it for television and just Jon being so outlandish is very hard to find sometimes. That line has the Gaussian blur on it cranked up to 200%. You can barely see it. So I figured let's take a look at some of the various highlights that have been posted on the YouTube channel over the years and have some laughs and fun along the way as we watch this human warthog tear down somebody's business. Also, before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe. We finally passed 500 subs and now we're trying to reach that 1,000 mark. And you might want to do it fast, because he's awakening. The first highlight video we'll take a look at is outrageously oversized food portions.
That's Sandro, the executive chef. All right, let's see what they got.
I'm sorry. I don't know what that noise I just made was. What is that? Usually, Jon has, like, this little recon thing that he holds where he watches the operations of a bar throughout the night while he's in a car that's parked, like, across the street, and he's watching it on, like, an iPad or whatever. I've never seen this before. I've never seen Jon's little perv station in the closet somewhere where he's sitting all alone. He usually has like an expert with him, but here he's sitting all alone just watching all the cameras by himself.
All the menus there, I definitely recommend trying the meatballs here. Each meatball is only half a pound.
Half a pound meatball?
Yep.
One.
Yeah, one meatball. So you get two in an appetizer.
A half a pound meatball.
So if they're serving half-pound meatballs and you get two for an appetizer, that's a pound of meat. Do they have Paul from the barbecue burgers video that I did working at this bar?
Oh, thank you. You're welcome.
Jason, I'd love for you to order some pasta, and when you order it, ask if it's homemade.
Copy.
Because they say the pasta is homemade, but I don't believe it is.
The pasta is the pappardelle house-made too?
Johnny, can you ask them if I can fit those meatballs up my ass? So here's question number one. How can they hear Jon? In all the shots that I see, I promise I'm not being weird, but I'm paying attention to their ears, and I don't see an earpiece in anywhere. So unless they have an earpiece, like, embedded inside their ear canal, I don't know how they're hearing Jon.
So Nico's just standing there, doing nothing. He's not engaged in anything. Everybody's just standing there looking around.
So it seems like the theme of this bar is like a speakeasy kind of thing. But if I walk into a bar and there's just a bunch of aggressive Italian-American men standing around leaning against the wall in suits, and I'm one of the only patrons there, I'm gonna be worried I'm about to get whacked.
Do you think a half-pound meatball is something that the average person would buy when they're also eating dinner? Or do you think it's a dinner killer?
I gotta use my knife. It's so dense.
I don't even have anything to say here. That's just...
For me, it's really dense.
We already cut into it, it felt a little rubbery.
The half-pound meatballs are dense. I can't imagine why.
Is there paprika or something in this dressing? What's the brown tinge? You see the color, right? It's a little brown.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out. All I was saying is, like I was saying, if there's a spice.
Here comes Big Vito to intervene. You might want to take him out back and give him some concrete shoes.
To be honest, I don't know every ingredient.
No, I know.
In this secret. It's a freaking disaster.
This is a Nico's freezer. We've been selling this for close to 20 years.
So when John does recon, he'll usually send 2 people in, sometimes locals, sometimes like B-list celebrities, to go in and try the food and do a little bit of interior recon while he watches the cameras in the van, or in this case, his little perv station. And this guy with the blue hair, I don't remember his name, but he's one of the experts. I think he's like a bartender that usually sits and does critique alongside John in the van.
Is there spice in this? And nobody answered me. Yeah, but what kind of attitude is that?
What attitude should I take? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, sir.
I'm sorry,
You know
Your
what?
Highness.
Is Nico gonna deck him?
He might deck him.
He might deck him, and if he does, oh well, it ain't my business.
So they're looking at the menu. It looks like they're about to order here.
Y'all want to take this receipt to the window?
To the window? What window?
Here we go. Here's a more classic recon scenario where John is sitting in the van with 2 of his experts, and they're watching a security camera that's definitely not a 4K HD camera that just has scan lines put on the frame in post.
She just told them, here's your trick. Go pick up your own food when it's ready.
Like this is a drive-thru?
All right.
I can't believe it. Styrofoam container inside a club where they had a stack of plates that they could have served them properly on. This don't make any sense. This right here doesn't happen.
A nightclub, guys. This is a nightclub.
One thing that you'll find about this show in reality TV tradition is that John and his experts will overreact to even the smallest thing that might be considered odd. I've seen plenty of bars, not necessarily ones that have like a food window inside them, but usually ones that like, you know, rent out a food truck or something like that, and they'll have it stationed outside so patrons can go get their food there. And yeah, they're gonna have to walk up to the window and pick up their own food and bring it back inside. That's just the way some bars operate. I can understand being kind of iffy about the styrofoam to-go boxes since there are plates and it's supposed to be a nightclub. But honestly, it's kind of more practical. You don't want a bunch of dirty dishes laying around your nightclub that your waitstaff have to pick up while people are, you know, walking around and dancing. Once the customer's done with their food, they can just throw the box out and it's clean. Not that I'm legitimizing or defending the choices here. I'm just trying to show how in the moment reactive John and his experts can be to the most niche things. Okay, that's enough with the recon. I want to get into some clips where John confronts the owners, because that's where a lot of the good stuff lays. Here's a good one that we can probably look at. Bars so bad that John interrupted recon. Nothing is funnier than seeing Jon Taffer abandon his incognito recon to go in and yell at people.
What does that say? 10-8. 10-8.
Oh my God. What is
That's
it?
5 weeks ago.
Is that Kevin Bledsoe?
And let's go in there together and stop this.
Really, Demon, why the f you cooking raw meat? Oh,
Stop this.
That would be my reaction if Jon Taffer just walked in front of me as well. Oh, shit. And I'd just freeze and stand there like a deer in headlights.
What are they doing, Chef?
You would think they were splitting the atom with how much work they're putting into this.
Look at the cutting board, Chef.
Cutting board, no gloves.
There's raw chicken on his cutting board with his knife, with
All
his
over
towel.
his hand.
So essentially, the chef cross-contaminates some of the food. He uses his bare hands that still have chicken juice on them to touch other food. So John's gonna go in and give him a piece of his mind. There he goes. There's that angry Taffer walk that this wide, lanky man.
Stop! I would not eat that. There's raw chicken all over this. There's raw chicken all over this. There might be raw chicken on your glasses. Let's go check, chef.
There's raw chicken all over this, so let me pick it up. There's raw chicken on this, let me pick it up.
He goes and touches the handle of this. The container's over there. This kitchen is covered in raw chicken and raw meat, and you don't have a f***ing clue.
You see what I mean about John being an angry warthog? He just bursts into a room, starts squealing at people and throwing stuff all over the place. The difference between Jon Taffer and what he's emulating, Gordon Ramsay, is Gordon gets angry because of his passion. He can go overboard and cross the line, yes, but that anger comes from a willingness to teach, to show you what you're doing wrong, and out of worry and compassion for the customers that they might have endangered. Whereas when John does it, John's just mad. John just seems angry. It doesn't come across as if he's mad on behalf of the customers or because he has something in particular in mind. He's just mad and throwing things around for seemingly no reason. And it could just be a matter of he's not good at communicating his intention when he's angry and yelling, but this man has basically made a career of being a bull in a china shop.
We don't have the mango mix for the mango margarita. Unfortunately, we don't have that.
So they didn't have the drinks you wanted?
Missing ingredients just for what sounds like a variation off a margarita.
Yeah, I'd assume a mango margarita is a variation of a margarita, my guy.
So if you were Ramiro and put up 300 grand and was losing $6,000 a month, and that's the way Raul cleaned your kitchen, would you be okay with that, chef?
Not at all. He'd be out. He'd be out the back door.
Look at this, chef. Chef, can they serve that food?
Cannot serve that food, John.
They can't serve any of it.
No, we can't let them get that.
All the experts that he has on the show are just there to be John's yes men. They'll agree to whatever he has to say. Very rarely do they bring points about what's going on themselves, other than the sections where they have like the cooks and bartenders teaching the people at the bar something. Most of the time, they're just nodding their head and saying, yep, John, that's right, John. Yeah.
Shut the bar down, because they can't serve drinks. Shut the kitchen down. I'll go for the owners.
You got it.
His kitchen is disgusting. His cooks are cross-contaminating everything.
I'll go for the owners. I'm gonna strangle them with my bare hands. But first, let me stop and do my talking head segment.
And Raul, who's supposed to be running this bar, doesn't care. And Ramiro is standing watching the entire thing.
There's something about the way John walks into a bar when he's angry that's just so... I don't know how to describe it. He walks like he just shit his pants. Basically. But he swings his arms in such a monkey-like way. That's the only way I can think to describe it. It's as if you took the walk cycle animation for John and highlighted his arms and cranked up the animation percentage to like 150%, where it's just an over-exaggerated bob of the arms each time he walks.
Really? So did you change this oil? Look at the color of these, chef. Is that right? No. So, look at that oil. Can any of this be right with that oil? No. So all of it is frickin' wrong.
When he goes into a kitchen, and I don't know what's up with me in the game analogies, but it's like his limbs enter ragdoll mode, where he'll just pick up something and flail it about however his body deems fit, depending on the physics of the object that he's holding, and just make a mess of the place. It doesn't, at least to me, it doesn't get the point across. You're just yelling at me, my guy. If I were an owner like this, sure, you're giving some criticism. There's no need to be over dramatic and throw the fryer baskets and all this food all over the kitchen, other than for the fact that it's what his character does. This is what the character of Jon Taffer does in Bar Rescue. And apparently, the worst part is, he's apparently even worse in real life. Let's take a look at like one more segment.
Y'all planning on playing all those games?
There's Candace.
Oh great, John's back in his little perv cave, but now he's got a buddy in there. They gotta charge their crystals.
Okay, let's keep an eye on Cook here, Chef, okay? Yeah, no gloves.
All right, what do you need help with, Tyler?
Okay, there's Candace. She put gloves on, good for her.
This doesn't have a lot to do with the show in particular, but it is a pet peeve of mine when you see somebody cooking in a video, whether it be on a show or on TikTok or whatever, and the comments are just full of no gloves, no gloves, no gloves, no gloves, where are the gloves? No gloves, where are they? One, not every country has the same health code as the United States. Different countries work in environments that are more sanitized or a lot cleaner or require frequent hand washing. And when you're working with cooked foods, yes, you should still wash your hands frequently, but if it's going to be in an oven or cooked in a pan, that bacteria is going to be killed off during the cooking process. That's not to say that I'm against gloves. I'd personally want my chef to probably wear gloves, especially in a bar environment like this. It's just, those people react like John, where John sees that and he goes, no gloves, no gloves, no gloves. Why don't they have gloves on? Ugh.
Now, what is Will doing? Why doesn't he jump back there? I mean, you know, as the owner.
What is this camera? Either they're using my camera, or again, they're doing the whole security camera thing where they're using a 4K HD film camera and just putting some weird filter over it to make it look lower quality than it actually is because of the surveillance aesthetic. Even though it doesn't make any sense in John's perv room to not have proper equipment.
Oh my God! Let's go inside. I want to stop them.
Yeah.
That food's not going out.
I think I'm not one to talk, but I think John just got stuck in his chair trying to get up.
Stop!
And with that, that's where we'll end for today, folks. Make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below if you want to see me react to more content like this or anything in particular that you'd want me to take a look at. As always, thanks y'all for supporting and sticking around, and I hope to see y'all in the next one. See ya.